What's up, everyone? It's your favorite marketer and podcast host. My name is Prit. I'm the author of 0 to 4 Figures, a marketing strategy consultant, and a digital entrepreneur, a podcaster, YouTuber, Etsy shop owner, Skillshare Teacher. All of the links are in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. On this podcast, I shuffle between giving solo podcast episodes and bringing in experts to give you actionable steps on various marketing, business, and mindset strategies to help you grow the business you love. Today, I have one such expert with me, DJ AmRo. Amani Roberts is a Washington, D.C. born and bred DJ who has been in California since 2007. A student of music since learning the saxophone at a very young age, DJ AmRo's musical knowledge spans numerous decades and crosses multiple genres. He's the host of the popular Amani Experience podcast and leads the Twitch University on live streaming and podcasting advantages for business owners. Amani speaks to business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders on how to use lessons from a DJ to spin up company success. I love the wordplay over there. Use music and DJs for company team building and how to conquer new audiences on platforms like Twitch. Amani, how are we doing today?
We're doing wonderful. Thank you very much for that nice introduction. It's good to see you. Prit, right? I pronounced your name correctly,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay, good. Nice to see you.
Okay. Amani, tell us a little bit about how did you get started with, first you were a student of music and then the saxophone and then the DJ. Tell us a little bit about how that journey started out.
Yeah, grew up playing music all through junior high school, and then went to college. And I saw DJ Bismarcky at a club one night, and he was amazing. And I just wanted to follow what he did, but I didn't think it was a legitimate career. I was wrong. I learned later, so it took me, an extra 12 or 13 years to get started. But I got started DJing, went to DJ school 2 different times, and then continued to grow my craft. And here I am now.
Wow, I feel like my story is almost on the same lines. I realized my passion for marketing while I was doing marketing and then didn't think I could make a career out of it. And then I think that's just how it happens. I think life just leads you to where you want to be. And I think that's really fascinating. And so,
Yeah.
how did you go from DJ to now a business owner, an influencer, and an entrepreneur?
I would say as a DJ, you are your own business owner because you have a brand. You're trying to get as many bookings as you can that fit what you want to do. So right off the bat, you're already a business owner. Then you definitely have to market yourself, network, make sure you're getting the right connections. You have to grow. And then for me, it was just a combination of continuing to put the work in, DJing gigs, networking, joining some nonprofit associations and being in leadership. Then just really expanding and trying to figure out new ways to reach new audiences who can either hire me or refer me to someone who can hire me.
Love that. And I love how you said it's always about constantly finding new ways to, gain exposure. And I think that's also what we're going to be touching upon on this podcast episode. And that is, how do we use live streaming for building a business? But before we get into that, let me hear your definition of what exactly is live streaming, because I know that there's so many different definitions out there. So let's talk about live streaming in general, and then we'll kind of go into live streaming for businesses.
I would say the definition for live streaming is to be broadcasting content, including video and audio, on any of our social media platforms live, where you can interact in real time with people who are watching all over the world. The platforms can be Twitch, which I use a lot, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, but just a consistent practice of going live, hitting that go live button without necessarily a strict script, and discussing certain items, interacting with the audience, and providing value.
Oh, love that definition. And I think that there are a few things that we can definitely talk about. First, why is it important for businesses to hop on live streaming? What are the advantages for them?
I think in the way the world is now, where you can get customers that are all over the world, and that want to kind of get to know you on a more personal level so they can understand who are they investing their time and money with. I think it's just necessary, and it's a really positive way to also create content, build relationships, meet people, share your story in your words, not letting someone else share your story, providing a PR, public relations arm to your business so you can share any breaking news, share new products. I just think it's a way for you to control the narrative about your business while reaching people all over the world.
I think that's wonderful. And I think that a few people might be hesitant to go live because of the concept of real time. What are your thoughts on it? And how can people overcome that hesitation of going live?
Yeah, there's a lot of hesitation, a lot of trepidation about going live. I would say don't let the technology, stop you or cause you to overanalyze. Just use what you have in your home or office to try it and build from there. I would also say just hit the go live button. It'll never be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect live stream. And just try to have fun with it. Try to accomplish some personal goals that will help you. Like, I want to make sure I go live for 30 minutes, or I talk to someone and ask them these questions, or I do some extra work and try out some new overlays so the visuals look good. Just set up small personal goals that'll help you kind of get achievements throughout the live stream. And really, the main thing that stops people is just don't let the technology slow you down.
Oh, that's wonderful. And talking about personal goals, I kind of want to extrapolate that into business goals. So there are definitely going to be some sort of business goal that you want to achieve with each live stream that you go for. And so, two questions. One, how does the business figure out these goals for the live stream? And number two, how can they make the live stream accomplish those goals?
I think for the business and the live stream, just make sure that when you are streaming, you speak about business, whether it's service offerings you have, a new product, you talk about it, you share stories, maybe interview someone who has used the product. So that's like a direct kind of commercial, but it's not too in your face like you'd see watching a television or a YouTube channel. So you're always kind of talking about your business, and then also make it personal. Talk about maybe why you started your business, some of the ups and downs. Because once people realize that you're an actual human being and you go through ups and downs, you're gonna resonate more with them, and they're gonna trust you more. The quicker you build trust, the more people will come to your business and want to hire you for your services or get your products. So I think that's kind of the first two steps with the business. Just talk about it, be genuine, share stories about it, and then from there, just be authentic and genuine, and you'll see progress.
I definitely agree with that because I think that what most people don't understand when they're being solopreneurs or people, business owners, is that you are part of the marketing. People want to get to know you, people want to understand who you are, what are your missions, what is your value, what is your vision for your business, what does behind the scenes look like. And I feel like all of these are really great examples for you to share live. And not just that, I think that you can always extrapolate the live video and kind of make it into short form videos that you can always put later. And what are your thoughts on that? Is it a hard process to kind of gain more content from live streaming?
I would say it's the hardest part of that process is being consistent, because once you get the live stream done, that's a whole, like, you just relieved and you kind of want to move on to the next one, but you can't forget to, like, make sure you download it, edit it up so you can put it on the various social media platforms, whether it be LinkedIn, Instagram, even TikTok. So that the being consistent is probably the most difficult part, is just making sure that you get the content, you consistently share it, and that'll help build your audience. That's one thing that I'm working on, because that can be difficult when you're so busy and doing so many live streams. Like, you got to pause, make sure you chop up the content and share it. Also look at it, see how you can improve. But yeah, that's instead of hiring someone to create content for you, you're actually creating a whole long calendar of content you can use, and that will save you time in the long run, and also probably save you some money too. And it's your content, you can use it for whatever you'd like.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I think that there's one more, I think a small hesitation that comes with going live. And what if no one shows up? What do you do
Yeah.
for that? Especially when you're in the initial stages. I definitely had this fear and I still went on anyway, but that was just because I said, it's okay, I'll just talk to myself. But how do you overcome that hesitation that what if nobody's live? And what do you do if that actually happens? Nobody's live and you only have to talk to yourself. How do you keep the mojo going, I guess I would say?
Yeah, yeah. Well, first realize that that happens to everyone. Very rarely will someone start off and have a bunch of people in their live stream. Just to be honest, maybe get a friend. Say, look, I really need you to be there. Can you be there for 30 minutes? Just show up, talk to me. I don't want to be alone. Then ask another friend. And then eventually new people will find you. Make sure you speak to them. Where are you from? How did you find us? Well, here's what we're talking about today. Let me know if you have any questions. Once you see someone write something in the chat that they're there, you have to acknowledge them and talk to them, and they'll come back. They'll bring friends. Yeah, really just get a friend to come join you. It could be a relative, a brother, a sister, anyone, to say, look, can you just hop on, be there with me, just so I can have the number 2 or 3 that's in the chat there. But also recognize that it is very rare that people will start off and have thousands of people in their stream. It just starts with 1, then you get to 2, then 4, then what is it, 8, then 16. It just takes time, but it will grow. If you're consistent, more people will find you. That's a fact.
Yeah, I definitely agree with this. I mean, for you, it was your friend. For me, it was my mom. My mom was there for the first two
Yeah,
lives for me. And, it was just
exactly.
really such a relief. And it's just all about asking people to personally reach out to them and ask them to join. Even I think that's a really good idea. And I think one
Yeah.
thing that I wanted to touch upon that you just said was interacting with your audience. And I think that's a feature that live streams have that is very unique to them. And I think that in that moment of nervousness or that confusion, I think it can be very easy for you to just keep speaking without interacting with your audience. So what are some of the tips that you have for us to calm our nerves and then focus on building that relationship rather than just putting our point across?
For me, when I see some people that are new coming to the live stream, I always try to find out where they're from. Because that gives you some demographical information, but also they say, oh, I'm from Miami. Well, hey, I used to live in Miami. I lived here. How about you? They said, oh, I know that place. This is this or this is that. And that just helps kind of take down the walls, find out where they're from. Maybe also, which is, it seems so silly, but be like, oh, if you say, okay, I'm from like London, UK. I'm like, oh, okay, what time is it there right now? Because right now it's like, 8:45 in the morning in LA. What time is it there? And they're like, oh, well, it's 4:45 p.m. here in London. We're getting ready for dinner on a Friday. Like, wow. I think simple things like that, like time zones, where they're from, if they say, oh, I'm just finished eating dinner and I'm just tuning in while we're relaxing. Oh, what was for dinner? What did you have? This is what I'm thinking about cooking. Just, it doesn't have to be too complex. Just simple things. Where you're from, what time is it there? What did you have for a meal? Or what's the weather like there? It's going to be pretty cool here today, 72 degrees. What's it like? And then, oh, we have a heat wave. Just little simple things. Weather, food, time, and where you're from are 4 ways to kind of just really break the ice.
Oh, love that. I think those are really solid questions that you can ask, and you can even write it on a post-it and put it beside you so that, you can overcome that nervousness and get out there. And so what are some of the advantages other than building relationships? What are some of the advantages of live streaming for businesses?
I think to add to the relationships, just it's like an intimate way of networking. Specifically, when you're interviewing someone on your live stream, it's like you're attending their masterclass. They're going to share with you everything they know about the topic you're asking. So it's an intimate way of networking. It's a way to, I want to say, like make fear part of your work process, because most of us are scared to go live. But once you consistently do that, you get over that fear. That will allow you to get through other things in your business that you might be scared of. Like, oh, maybe I'm scared of increasing my rates by 25%, but you keep live streaming like, oh, it's not so bad. Let me try this. Or maybe, you're scared of asking certain questions to people. Once you ask it one time, like, oh, they really responded well to that. So it's a way of getting over fear. It's a way of creating intimate networking, one-on-one networking. And then it just by organically, it continues to establish you as like a thought leader in your space. Because really, if you look at it, people who you might compete with on a macro sense, they probably aren't live streaming. So this is a way for you to differentiate yourself. And the more people see you talking about, whether it be marketing, whether me, it could be about like DJing or being creative, the more they see you speaking about that and talking to different people, they're like, oh, wow, Amani, he knows a lot about like DJing and being creative. Like, let's pay attention, because he keeps getting people on his podcast or his live stream, and he keeps streaming. It's just people will pay attention, because there's a lot of noise out there. But if you're consistent, people will definitely know. There are always people watching you. They might not be in the live stream, but they're watching what you're doing. And if you're consistent, they'll start to really, believe and understand how much of a thought leader you are in your space.
Oh, wonderful. I really think that that whole differentiation thing, it matters, because I think a lot of times we're saying as a business owner myself, how do I differentiate myself without burning a hole in my pocket? And I think this is just such a fantastic way to go about it. And it's something, like you said, it's very hard to be consistent. And if you can nail that, I think that really sets you apart. And not just that, I think all of the live stream videos go into the saved videos, so people can always watch it later on. And it's just a cycle that keeps going on. And if you use the right hashtags on Instagram or on Facebook, I think that just gives it a wider spread. And I think you can also put the same thing on YouTube, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah. Now they have YouTube Reels. So,
Yeah.
you see what's happening within the platforms. Like they're making it so that video is more shown on different platforms with the algorithm. So people who are running these, platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, like, even Twitch to a lesser extent, they understand that like live video, that's kind of the future. People want to interact and see people. It's getting away from photos, more live pictures. So with like Reels and then YouTube Shorts and things like that, like that's where it's heading. So why not embrace it and try to, stay ahead of the curve?
Absolutely. I 100% agree with this. And, how can people reach out to you, Amani, if, they're looking for, first off, what does your business do other than the DJing? What else do you help other leaders with? Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's put the spotlight on you.
Offer. All right. We can do that. I also coach people. I have a coaching program where I coach you through how to start your live stream, how to maintain it throughout the entire process. So you can reach out to me for that. I also live stream. So really, to find me, it's on the socials. It's like at Amani Experience. And my name is M as in Mary, A as in Nancy, I. The word experience, one word. Whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, then LinkedIn is just Amani Roberts, and Twitch is twitch.tv/Amani Experience. So just reach out, send me a message, tell me where you saw me. We have questions, ask, Discord. I think you could join my Discord also. I just think there's a lot of different ways to reach people within my community that we can help you. We're always learning. I have a couple videos out there about different equipment that you can use. I mean, we did a lot of work kind of right around the early pandemic time about figure out what camera works, what software works, what platform you use to live stream, whether you use open broadcasting system or software or like StreamYard, other things like that. Like we've tried it all. We continue to identify new products like paying and things like that. And so just reach out, whether you be on a PC, a Mac, like we've done it all. Like, so I have a lot of experience and trial and error. So just reach out. I live stream maybe 3 or 4 days a week, a couple of days DJing, 1 day talk show, 1 day game shows. And we're just still continuing to learn, work on this really major award show for this coming Monday. So just don't think in the box about what live streaming can be. You don't just have to be talking on the screen. You can be interviewing people. You can be doing fun games. You can do an award show. There's lots of possibilities. So that's kind of a long answer to your question.
Oh no, that's fantastic. I really liked how you also gave examples that it's not just a solo thing. You can bring in experts from your industry, just like pretty much what I do with the podcast as well. Bring in experts, talk to them, or have a Q&A session. And I think you also mentioned bring in people who've reviewed your products. Talk to them about what they liked about your product or your service, and then have that conversation. And I think it's just really nice because I think sometimes people might worry about just talking solo, but when you bring someone on, first off, their audience also sees you. So that's exposure on your end as well. So I think those are really fantastic tips. And the Q&A, and then we talked about games as well. I thought that was actually really nice. But I think that's probably when you have a little bit more number of people joining in. So you kind of create that fun interactive experience. So I really like that. Amani, thank you so much. You've given so many tips. I'm going to put all of the information in the description box below. If any of you want to reach out to Amani, again, description box, do reach out to him, say hi to him. He's pretty friendly. He's pretty awesome. Tell him something that you liked about this podcast episode. Tell him one tip that you liked that he gave. And I'm sure that you guys will connect. So Amani, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your valuable insight. And for those of you listening out there, thank you so much for listening all the way. I will catch you in my next episode.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.